Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Tex McCormick, and I'm here to tell you about how I got my first acoustic guitar. All I ever wanted to be was a songwriter. You know, I had grown up playing the piano, and I had learned the bass guitar since I was 12. I think I was about 14 years old when I had asked my parents for an acoustic guitar. I didn't think you could really write songs with any other instrument. When I'm looking back on it, you know, my dad had just invested probably about $1,000 on a bass rig for me. And I'd become pretty good at the bass. I really wanted to write songs. So in my head, I needed to get a different instrument to do that. So when I asked my parents for the acoustic guitar, you know, they're like pretty hesitant about it. My dad, after saying no, thought about it for a couple weeks. And when he got back to me, he said, "Okay, son, I'll buy you an acoustic guitar if you can prove it, that you can write a song, you know. You said you're gonna use this tool to write songs, so I'll buy you an acoustic guitar if you can prove to me that you can write a song with it." And at the time, I didn't have an acoustic guitar, let alone know how to play one of them. So I went over to my buddy's house, my buddy Nathan, and he had a guitar or a handful of guitars over there, and either him or his dad or someone in the house had taught me a couple chords to string along, and I put really, you know, childish, rudimentary type words over these chords that I was taught, and I had came up with a song for my dad to prove to him that I could write a song. So when we got to the music store in our town, you know, think a very small town music store with not a lot of guitars in it, I knew exactly the one I wanted. And, you know, it wasn't expensive. It was probably, you know, a couple $100, maybe $200 to $400, one of those entry-level acoustic guitars. And this was the type of music store where you couldn't just go and grab the guitars off the wall, right? You had to get permission to do so. So the shop owner came over, and he's like, "This is the one you want?" My dad looked at him, looked at me, and I had to perform that song that I had written. 3 chords and the truth, man. That old adage saying, you know, all it takes is 3 chords and the truth. The truth was, it's probably a really bad song. You know, it was probably sounded like Blink-182. It's the style of music I was into as a 14-year-old kid, you know, just like skater punk, Blink-182, think Green Day, Dookie, and that was kind of the time that I was getting this guitar. That lesson was really important for me. It taught me a handful of things. 1, the path to the things that you desire can be found through music or an ambitious goal. 2, sometimes you have to prove it to people. And 3, anytime I pick up an instrument, I can write a new song for a different purpose. I love the acoustic guitar. I probably write half of my songs starting there, the other half starting on the piano. And I encourage anybody to learn the acoustic guitar. It is an American tradition that shouldn't be lost. Something that was handed down through me, through my father. Even though he wasn't a guitar player or a musician, I had to get that guitar through extension of him. You know, I was 14 years old. I had to ride my bicycle to my friend's house. I had to ask uncomfortable questions. I had to request permission to utilize tools that I didn't own. And my dad made me go through that whole rigmarole. And I'm glad he did. So, encourage everyone, go out and get a guitar, learn some chords, and rock and roll, baby. That's what this tradition is all about. Thank you so much for listening to my TED Talk. My name is Tex McCormick. Thanks, Dad. I love you.